number 2 with AGAL against Alpha 7 Esports.
This game is gonna be crucial, especially for Alpha 7 Esports, because it dictates your tempo and mental coming into the series here. And starting off the game, we are seeing a certain lane swap here coming in from AG as they swap Yino and Shuai towards the Clash lane to fight Niap on this Byron pick.
Yeah, I mean, obviously Byron here is definitely one of the bigger picks within the early game up into the Clash lane, right? Like 1v1s, he pretty much takes them every day up until Sunday, right? Like every pick that comes through there, Byron definitely likes to go in with the early game and get those 1v1 matchups because he has it all within his kit, right?
Exactly, and look at the level 1 execution here coming in from AG there. They already countered the Crimson Golem here thanks to the lane swap here. So when they plan the lane swap, they already have a game plan in mind, and the game plan is to counter this Crimson Golem here. But look at Alpha 7 here. They know for the fact that bottom side has priority here, so they return the favor.
They do return the favor, so obviously able to get that red buff for themselves is obviously going to be a little bit of a constellation price here, right?
Yep, it's a 50-50 trade coming in from both teams here, but let's talk a bit about Ran's Guan Yu here. This pick is going to be very, very important in being the flank here coming in from AGAL, as if you see on the side of the Alpha 7 team, there is not a lot of hero to really disrupt this Guan Yu.
There is not really that much to disruption, right? I mean, we potentially see the slowdown there thanks to obviously Furies. Winter is here, really try and kind of control the battlefield on the Gorge within that respect. But right now, obviously, if you haven't already, you have not checked the honor pass that you get for free with obviously the KWC exclusive skin, the Heaven Pulse Alessio. Get in game, get grinding, and get that free skin.
It is super beautiful as a free skin, by the way. You just have to grind a bit, click through the honor pass, make sure you get all that honor EXP, and you will be getting that skin for free here, Blam.
Exactly, just keep looking at those for those key codes, right? And you'll get some of those free XPs for the honor pass as well. But speaking of EXP, we're looking at here and the gold. The gold lead for the side of AGAL is comfortably around about that 6.6k, so slowly but surely, obviously starting to amount to something here. But speaking of amounting to things, obviously Shuang here has to be flashed out of that 3v1 potential fight there.
Oh, look at Zhong Yi though. He finds CR7 and CR7's flash has been forced here. So another invade here is being set up coming in from AG's team composition as they look for an engage.
They do look for an engage. A lot of aggression there. That's the poke and prod that we see from the Ran's Guan Yu. But it's going to be Guan Yu being taken down here. First blood going over to Alpha 7 Esports. So Hoon correctly thought so, right? He was like, hey, what's the prediction? What they're going to go for the most? And they get the first blood. So already, I feel like Hoon's been satisfied here already within this best of 7 series.
Exactly. Coming in with a first blood here definitely pumps up the morale coming in from Alpha 7 here. And the typical AGAL style, they look to share gold between 3 members of the team to maximize the goal full efficiency value. But like you mentioned here, yes, you get the kill here, but look at AGAL's goal. It's still up for 1,000 here.
It is. I mean, they're definitely putting not all their eggs in one basket, right? They're just making sure they're getting the gains across the Gorge. Right now, Inua is taking a lot of damage, but he does have the infinite fastness, right? He's able to use it to try and get out there. Think inside the box, being committed, but now it's up to Inua to do the damage onto Valau to try and get away Shui.
Ooh, a big 2v2 here coming in from bot side as a lot of spells has been expended coming in from Alpha 7 Villau here. And currently the laning phase does look like it's in favor for the side of AGAL here. So at the very least in this early game, AGAL's setting is very good. And look at the 4th minute mark, they are collapsing onto the bottom side of Alpha 7.
Yeah, the Winter is here being put down to try and deter them away from that T1 into the bot side of the map. Obviously, AGAL trying to create some great pressure here. And in terms of pressure, in terms of damage, it's all coming here from Inua.
Exactly, and look at how much focus is being put onto this tyrant here by both teams here. We have 10 members coming in from the middle to bottom side of the map here. Both teams, they know how important it is to target down AGAL Dino here. And look at Villau. He has no flash. He gets caught out and he gets punished.
He does get punished indeed. Obviously, the Motsu there, wouldn't you kind of already on top of him and he doesn't have the common skill to get out? It's going to be hard for a pick like the Motsu to get out of those fights. So already AGAL are using those intels that their team are kind of formulating and communicating together to say, look, guys, if we're going to strike now. And speaking of strike, we do see the Unruly Blade, but it's going to be thanks to Fury that's not actually going to follow through here.
Ooh, that Unruly Blade as well. It secured the Crimson buff here, and this is AGAL, the KPL playstyle, right? They don't fight when there's no objective here. And what is objectives we're talking about? Blue buff, which is the Azure, red buff, which is the Crimson Golem here, or towers here. Anywhere you see any of these objectives, you will see AGAL fighting you for the control.
Fighting for control, and obviously they give it over the buffs to the right heroes, right? I mean, give it over to Lung here. We're already seeing quite the expensive build coming through for Lung, right? Obviously the Eternity Blade rather than going for the Axe of Torment. We could have potentially seen a lot more of that kind of like attack damage crit build coming through here.
That's a very good point you pointed out, right? Usually the Lung, we see a Meteor, then we see a Starbreaker being finished at third, but Yinor goes for that Eternity Blade that will scale into further the Daybreaker. A very expensive but efficient build towards the late game here coming in from Yinor.
Exactly. I mean, if you try and go for obviously the more expensive items a little bit more early within the build, you come online a little bit earlier, and then you can kind of have that dominance onto the Gorge that we know picks like the Lung can have. But already we're sort of seeing here the potential kind of like highlights is obviously Danny's actually out jungling Zoe here on the Dune, but as a pay, we should be seeing this, right?
As a pay, we should be seeing this as well, especially he's taking so much resource here coming in from the side of his mid lane, which is Fury here. And look at AGAL once again. When there's objective, it leads to one after another. Azure Golem goes over to Changsheng, and now they secure the bottom tier 2.
They actually secured the T2, obviously, right there, but we have to give props over to Alpha 7 Danny, right? He's trying to play a little bit more of a macro here. He has to be careful of Ran that he doesn't get caught out. He is trying to go back to base, but he does get caught out here by Ran. Pushing him to the side. He's going to be able to do enough damage here onto the page, you think?
Ran here is just playing around with Danny here right now, and if Danny doesn't get the kill onto Ran here, he might just get executed by Yinor. So much damage right now, and Danny, where can you escape? You're locked into this bush.
Yeah, it's kind of like a rock between two hard places at this point in the game. Danny is trying to just rotate and try and find a way back to his friends onto the opposite side of the Gorge, but right now, he's sat there. No one's found him. We can obviously see that Inua and Shui are looking for him here, but he's able to get back. I mean, my heart was beating there. Those in the crowd, the Alpha 7 fans, I was just like, I hope Danny gets out.
I hope Danny gets out as well, and he played the Vision game so well, managing recall on time, and he is sent safely back to base here. Look at the goal lead right now at 7 minutes here. It's already a 4,000 goal lead going towards AGAL. That's some magic coming in from AGAL, as they are so efficient in farming gold.
Very efficient in farming gold, but I mean, all that shenanigans that was happening there for Alpha 7's Danny is the fact that he's just lost a lot of gold per minute, right? Like, that's now allowed Zoe to actually try and accumulate a little bit more closer gap, but here we go with a flash in here from Shang, but he's able to get the CC onto one of the front lines, but there's nothing here to follow just yet. Just trying to push them away from that T2 in the mid lane.
He pushes back with T2, and Ino gets a snipe onto CR7 as he falls by the flaming palms here, and once again, they knock onto the tier 3 coming in from the tower of Alpha 7 as they are looking to push it down. 8 minutes in, a tier 3 goes towards the favor of AGL.
Yeah, I mean, onto the Gorge, it must be like Riyadh, right? I mean, that protective winds wasn't available. The winds were just too hot from those flaming palms.
Hot win, hot Riyadh. That is Esports World Cup for you here, Blam. And look at the top side here, coming in from Donnie here. He successfully took down the tier 2 as a consolation prize, and he is one of the main carries here coming in from the side of Alpha 7 Esports. He's rocking that gold chart with Elon.
He's doing a great job. He's doing an absolutely great job at taking down those T2s, putting the pressure onto the top side of the map, off the side of AGAL, but at the same time, we're seeing that we want to go back to that point that we was making, right? That Danny, into this competition, we all had the preconceived idea that he was just going to play tanks. But then into the group stages, he picks the pay. And then he gives us that enlightenment. He's like, you know what? I only pick tanks because I'm picking around my team. And we're really starting to see a different Danny. So 2025 Danny, I'm excited for it.
I'm excited for his growth as well, and he has shown it on this international stage, especially when we talk about Honor of Kings. You cannot always pick the same exact team composition because of global ban pick here. So having more heroes, be it tank, be it the assassin, being all these battle mages, right? It's so crucial coming in from global ban pick here, as Danny might be caught out.
Might be going out here, the Flaming Palms, and the wind is going to keep him in place. Getting that pick up onto Danny after we gave him such great praise there. But I mean, honestly, there's only so little time before you actually get shut down there when you kind of try to prowl around, trying to get that priority into the mid side lanes here.
Wow. Alpha 7 Esports is just getting choked out on all the neutral resource, all their jungle camps here. Looking at the goal lead here, 7,000 healthy going in from AG, and the kill score only 3 kills to 1, but that is an insurgible amount of goal lead going towards AGAL.
Yeah, I mean, we always talk about, obviously, Honor of Kings evolving the esports-wise, and within the group stages, we've seen some very brawler kind of like matches where there is a lot of kills on the board, but with the playoffs of day number 2, I mean, the quarterfinals, the final part, we've rarely seen very many kills, but this is what shows, right? You don't need as many kills, you need the resources, you need the objectives.
And look at here, he goes for flank here, but CR7 press the protective switch, he gets out alive, but the remaining members coming in from Alpha 7, you have nowhere to go as you get taken down one by one.
One by one, they fall like dominoes over to the side of Alpha 7 Esports. A nice use of that infinite vastness, right? They baited obviously Inua, but then he just takes his ultimate, comes crashing back down, and what else is going to crash right now? The crystal of game number 2 here for AGAL.
AGAL takes game number 2 once again with a dominating fashion here.